I'd like to ask this question of both of you. What would you like for the general public or the youth in particular to learn from the Montford Point Marines as far as the era, the legacy? What would you like for them to learn?
Well, I think there's a couple of ways to answer that question. First, I'll answer from the perspective of the military. All right. What I'd like the younger generation of today's military to understand, especially with the impact of diversity with regards to where the Marine Corps and the military stands in general, there's been a paradigm shift, right? During the 70s, during my early tenure in the Marine Corps, you started to see a progression of African-American officers starting to go ahead and escalate into rank and positions of authority, et cetera. That started to move during the 70s, late 80s, or early 80s. But that's now starting to shift, right? And what you're starting to see now is that individuals that are at positions of power, or for lack of a better word, or in positions of rank and authority, starting to leave the Marine Corps. And those positions are not being backfilled. So what we want to see happen, and hopefully, with some of the conversations that you have with regards to the legacy of the Montford Point Marines, is that they will use that diversity, use that ability to go ahead and see that people of color, all right, did have roles in the Marine Corps, did make contributions, did go ahead and become pillars of society, okay, and did take on positions allow for them to go ahead and excel and do well. Okay, there have been a large number of individuals that have supported the Montford Point Marines in varying capacities and varying ranks, et cetera. And we've leaned on them, and they've reached back and been very helpful to our mission and to our cause. But what I would like to extend to the younger African Americans and to people in the military as a whole, you need to do your part, your fair share. You need to go ahead and proceed and move forward. Okay, you need to be contributors to the dynamic of being a leader, okay, a position of responsibility, and you need to bring people with you. Now, as far as the community is concerned, in terms of what we would like to go ahead and express to the folks in the community from a younger generation, this is exactly as the President said. This isn't about, Black history. This is American history. And you need to be a part of that. You need to understand that your place in history is equally as important as anybody else's, okay? And that the military is not just a place for, you to do X. It's a place to learn. It's a place to establish foundation, okay? It's very easy to be a knucklehead. It takes no practice at all, okay? But if you give the military a fair share, right, it will do wonders for you. It will give you your place, okay, in terms of foundation, and allows you to go ahead and proceed forward.
Look, in order to know where you're going, you have to know from whence you came. A foundation has been laid by the Montford Point Marines. It's incumbent that we as African Americans, but not just African Americans, it's important that everybody knows this history. It's a part of history that cannot be erased, and it should not be erased. This is a sore subject that people hate to talk about, especially African Americans, but we must. In order to bridge the gap, you have to talk about the things that hurt. This is all education, and it's history. And, and one must be educated again in order to know where they're going. And if you talk about the things that hurt, like this particular history, then you can build off it, you can capitalize off it, and you can bridge the gap. The Marine Corps, no doubt, history lesson, was the last branch of service to accept African Americans within its ranks. That was in 1942, in which we look at Executive Order 8802. Now, in 2013, to date, approximately 70 years ago, African Americans was, if you theoretically allowed to be in the Marine Corps, out of 237 years of history. The Marine Corps was already in 168 years of existence before they even allowed African Americans within the ranks. To date, the Marine Corps, we're talking about diversity, has only had 19 general officers. That's from the rank of 1-star general to a 3-star general. We've never had a 4-star general in the Marine Corps.
Wow.
Those numbers are asinine, when you look at it. So it's history, you know. And you talk about the men of Montford Point, they have a very unique story. You know, and it's a story that I like because when you look back at it from which we came, these men of Montford Point, they came from all walks of life. Some was doctors, lawyers, some were professional baseball players, some were even officers in the United States Army and relinquished their commission to come into the United States Marine Corps. What made them come? They were doing quite well on the farm in Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, up north, New York, Philadelphia, Delaware, New Jersey. They were doing quite well. But they came into the United States Marine Corps. You know why they came? They came because their country needed them. They came because their country called. And these men, they took the step to a bold step, you know, not with their hands out. They came just because their country called them.
Absolutely. Wow.
That's right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you both so very much for the interview. This has been quite enlightening and really enjoyed it.
It's our
Enjoyed
Definitely.
meeting all of the gentlemen earlier today and just hearing the histories.
Right.
And it's been really great.
Again, on behalf of the president, if I may, you know, it's been our pleasure, you know, to serve in the capacity that we have for the last 6 years, and you know, we talk often in front of the members and offline. You know, it's been truly, you know, a plus.
Great. And one just small question. As far as the communities, like different schools, the high schools and such, do you all have, you?
Yeah, we just recently embarked on a Speakers Bureau project.
Okay.
So if you go to the montfordpointmarine.org website, you can click on the photos of those individual speakers, and it'll bring up the bio for those individuals, the presidents, myself, and others. And we talk about a range of things, not just about Montford Point history and the legacy which the association means so much to us about, but we'll talk about a wide range of things that on our professional and personal side we can speak to as well. So it's there for you.
Great. Well, again, thank you very much for the
Quite welcome.
interview, and we look forward to the christening of the ship on Saturday.
Definitely. We look forward
Thank
to
you.
it as well. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
Thank you.